Imagine this. The man who saved the kids, who risked everything to take down Ominent, suddenly turns on his best friend and tears his head clean off. That's exactly what happens in Grounded 2, when Dr. Wendell Tully goes berserk during the opening ceremony. But here's the catch. What if he isn't the villain at all? What if he's just a puppet, controlled by an orc mind control technology? Welcome back to Glitch Theories, where we uncover the darkest secrets hidden in your favorite games. Today we're diving deep into one of the biggest mysteries in Grounded 2. Why would Dr. Wendell Tully, the brilliant scientist who helped save the teens in the first game, suddenly betray everyone in the sequel? Now, on the surface it looks like Wendell just snapped, but dig a little deeper and the evidence paints a very different picture. From his twitching body, to the crazy look in his eyes, to the suspicious beret perched on his head. Everything screams that this wasn't Wendell's choice, and when we uncover a hidden note that literally spells out a desperate cry for help, the pieces start to fit together. So in this video, we're going to lay out the case that Dr. Tully is being controlled by an orc device. We'll look at all the in-game clues, tie them to Grounded's lore, and then turn to the suspects who could possibly want Wendell under their thumb. By the end, you'll see why this isn't just a fan theory, it's most likely the explanation for one of the most shocking moments in Grounded's story. In the very first moments of Grounded 2, we get a scene that flips everything we thought we knew on its head. After surviving the nightmare of the backyard, Wendell Tully is finally back to his normal self. He's cured from his so-called raisoning condition, he's standing tall, and he's finally being celebrated as the genius who uncovered Ominent's corruption. There's a stage, a podium, an audience. Even BURG.L, his trusty robotic assistant, is there at his side. But then, in the blink of an eye, it all shatters. As Wendell steps up to give his speech, something changes. His body jerks, his face twitches, his eyes flicker, and then he lunges at BURG.L and rips his head clean off. The crowd screams, the ceremony collapses into chaos, and just like that, the man we trusted as a mentor turns into the villain. Except, here's the thing. If you know Wendell from the first game, this doesn't add up. This is the same man who risked his life to guide the teens through the backyard, who created inventions like spacer technology and the embiggening cocktail to save them. He was quirky, sure. He was a little eccentric. But violent? Brutal? Absolutely not. Fans immediately picked up on how out of character this was. On forums, people noted how Wendell's body visibly twitches before the attack, like he's fighting against himself. Others pointed out how his eyes seem to twitch and get a crazy look in them. And then there's BURG.L. Wendell loved BURG.L. He built him. He trusted him. Why would he suddenly destroy him unless he had no choice? This opening moment doesn't just feel like a shocking twist, it feels like a clue. A puzzle piece deliberately placed to tell us Wendell isn't the monster here, he's the victim. Now let's talk about one of the strangest details in this whole scene, Wendell's hat. In the opening cutscene, he's wearing a brand new beret, a purple beret to be exact. It's not just a small cosmetic change either. The game actually calls attention to it. Characters pointed out, almost like the developers wanted to make sure we noticed. Why is this important? Because in Grounded 2, purple means one thing: orc control. The Ominent remote control device that enslaves insects always glows with an ominous purple light. Controlled creatures have purple eyes, purple sparks, even purple auras in some cases. Purple is Ominent's signature of control, and here's Wendell, at the biggest moment of his life, wearing a suspicious purple hat. The theory is that the beret isn't just a hat at all. It's hiding an orc receiver, a mind control chip placed on Wendell's head. Think about it. The twitching, the violent outburst, it lines up perfectly with how orc devices work. In the first game, bugs fitted with orc receivers would suddenly become hostile, even if they weren't aggressive before. They'd fight to the death, not because they wanted to, but because they were forced to. Wendell's behavior in that cutscene is exactly the same. And let's be honest, that hat looks out of place. Wendell isn't a beret guy. It doesn't match his established character design at all, which makes it stick out even more. Fans immediately latched onto it as a clue, theorizing that whoever's behind Wendell's control slipped the hat onto him, disguising the receiver as an accessory. Something is forcing Wendell to act against his will. And this isn't just fan speculation. It's consistent with how the game has shown us O.R.C devices function from day one. But the single most compelling piece of evidence doesn't come from Wendell's behavior. It comes from his own words, hidden in plain sight. After the chaos of the ceremony, players who go back to the podium can find Wendell's discarded note cards from his speech. Most of them are what you'd expect, formal lines thanking the audience, acknowledging the kids, condemning Ominent. But one card stands out. At first it just looks sloppy, the handwriting is uneven, and the words a little jumbled. But when fans look closer, they realized the first letter of each word spelled something out. And when you line up those first letters, they form a chilling message. Please help me. I am being controlled. Yes, Wendell himself wrote that. It's an acrostic, a desperate hidden SOS from a man who knew he couldn't just come out and say it. Whoever's monitoring him wouldn't notice. It just looks like a random speech draft. But for players, for those paying attention, it's a direct cry for help. Wendell is telling us the truth. He is not in control of his actions. This changes everything. If you were on the fence about the hat, about the twitchy behavior, and the sudden outburst of anger, this hidden message is the confirmation. Wendell knows what's happening to him. He knows he's being used like a puppet, and in the only way he could, he left behind proof. The implications are heartbreaking. Imagine being trapped in your own body, forced to commit acts you'd never choose, unable to scream out for help. Wendell found a way to scream silently through an acrostic in his notes, and it worked. Players found it, shared it online, and now the theory is out there. So now, we're not just theorizing. We have Wendell's own words begging us to save him. Now let's ask the big question. Who's behind this? Who slipped that device onto Wendell and hijacked his mind? The first and most obvious suspect is Ominent themselves. Think about it. At the end of the first game, Wendell was vindicated. The kids exposed Ominent's experiments, BURG.L revealed their corruption, and Wendell regained some of his reputation. He even found a cure for his aging condition. In short, Ominent lost. Corporations like Ominent don't take losses lightly. Wendell not only embarrassed them, he stole back the spotlight, and what better way to get revenge than to turn his moment of triumph into his downfall. By forcing him to attack BURG.L on stage, Ominent destroys his credibility. The public sees a mad scientist, not a hero. His reputation is shattered, and Ominent gets to swoop in and reclaim control over his research. And remember, Ominent invented O.R.C tech. If anyone has the means to chip Wendell, it's them. They have the devices, the labs, the resources. All they need is the opportunity. A planted hat, a tampered note card, maybe even a corrupt embiggening treatment. So motive means opportunity. Ominent checks all the boxes, and given their history controlling Wendell, to ruin him feels exactly like something they'd do. But there's another suspect, a wild card, the so-called masked stranger. This mysterious figure shows up throughout Grounded 2, leaving cryptic messages and using O.R.C devices to control bugs. And while there are many theories as to who the stranger could be, from the missing 5th teenager to Sloane's daughter, some even believe it could be Ash Ferngrass, the leader of the eco-activist group. While here on Glitch Theories, I believe it's the 5th teenager, as I show tons of evidence in my Grounded 2 Masked Stranger's True Identity Revealed video, which you should go check out if you're interested, as I gather tons of evidence towards proving my theory, and I've even discovered some more since, like the Deuces trinket from the first game, symbol being displayed when you thwart an O.R.C raid from the mysterious stranger. But here's why the stranger is suspicious. The note cards at Wendell's podium seems to come from them. They are written by someone who clearly hates Ominent, and it includes instructions for Wendell to start with nice crap, look normal, then at the end, fireworks. If true, this means the stranger orchestrated the entire incident. Another card has Ominent written very ominously, almost as if the person hates Ominent, and the card is finished with "Make them clap, Wendell. People cheer you on all the time in your dreams." One even says, "Pretend there's nothing wrong. Call strangers your friends." Why would they do this? Maybe to sabotage Ominent's plans at the ceremony. Maybe to destroy BURG.L before Ominent could get their hands on him and steal him back. Or maybe to send a message. The stranger plays by their own rules, and controlling Wendell for a few moments could have been a calculated sacrifice. What makes this theory plausible is the stranger definitely has access to the O.R.C tech. We see them using it on bugs all over the yard, and if they can hijack insects, hijacking Wendell isn't much of a stretch. The big twist, though, is whether the stranger is truly an enemy. If they're the missing 15, or even someone like Ash Ferngrass, maybe their goal isn't to hurt Wendell, but to force a confrontation with Ominent. Maybe controlling Wendell was a last resort, not an act of malice. Either way, the stranger sits high on the suspect list with both the motive and the tools to pull it off. Of course, no good mystery comes without a few wild theories. Some fans speculated that Wendell we see in the ceremony isn't Wendell at all, but a robot clone or hologram. After all, how did he recover so quickly from his raisoning? But the good ending of Grounded 1 already gave us the explanation for that cure. And the hidden "help me" message makes it clear. This is Wendell. Others pointed fingers at a mysterious woman seen in the intro cutscene. Maybe she was pulling the strings. Maybe she was an Ominent agent. But with little evidence, this feels more like a distraction than a solution. At the end of the day, the simplest explanation fits best. Wendell isn't a clone. He isn't an imposter. He's just been chipped. And now we have to figure out who's holding the controller. So let's recap. Wendell Tully, once the hero of the backyard, suddenly turns violent at the ceremony. His body twitches, his eyes flash, and he wears a suspicious hat. He tears BURG.L apart, shocking everyone, and hidden in his notes we find a secret message. "Please help me, I am being controlled." When you connect the dots, the picture is clear. Wendell isn't the villain, he's the victim of O.R.C mind control. The only question left is, who is behind it? Ominent, the corporation with everything to gain by ruining him, or the masked stranger, the rogue figure with their own agenda? Both have the motive, both have the means, and both are capable of turning Wendell into their pawn. What's tragic is that Wendell knows he's trapped inside his own body, forced to watch as he destroys the very things he's built. That hidden message is his plea for rescue, and if Grounded 2's story continues down this path, our mission may not just be to fight Ominent or the bugs, it may be to save Wendell himself. Because one thing is certain, until that O.R.C device is destroyed, Dr. Wendell Tully is not free. So what do you think? Who's behind Wendell's mind control? Do you think it's Ominent, the stranger, or someone else entirely? Let me know your theories in the comments, because this mystery is only getting deeper. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into Grounded 2's lore, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Here on Glitch Theories, we're just scratching the surface of the darkest secrets in gaming. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next.